Hello, Flimsy Lunch Tree here, back with a video being statistics number 2. So in the previous video, we looked at our statistics through Wargaming through the World of Warships profile. You can go and see how you perform as a player, such as win rate, your personal rating, average damage, what's been your highest damage record, what ships are you playing, what is the most ships you do play of ship types, like carriers, cruisers, destroyers, battleships, and then also seeing what ships you perform the best in. Today, we're going to be looking at the WoW Stats and Numbers website, and this is gives you a lot more information, in my opinion, than what you can find in the World of Warships gamer summary profile. So as you can see here, we have me up here with my clan, ADF, Flimsy Lunch Tray. And we can look at random battles, we can look at solo and Division 2 and Division with 3, these are going on right now, co-op battles or all battles, as well as clan, if I wanted to look up my own clan to see how we perform, with a specific warship, if you want to see who has the most damage, or personal rating with a certain ship. As you can search player here, you can search clan here, or warship here and search. As well as other things helpful on this website. But today we're going to be talking about statistics. As I alluded to some things, when you look at your statistics, it tells you more about yourself as a player, and that is especially true when you're looking on the World of Warships Stats and Numbers website. So I'm not going to go over the main things that we went over in the previous video on statistics, but today we're going to look at some other things that the World of Warships summary profile about your statistics doesn't have, where here in WoW Stats and Numbers we do have. So the first thing that I like to look at as we're in random battles mode here is we can see again here your overall damage, or the overall, as it's going to vary by whatever is categorized here to the left, your recent, your last 7 days, your last 21 days. Recent would be today. I haven't played any World of Warships today as I'm recording this video. And your last 7 days, you can see how you've performed. And you can also see how you've performed over the last 21 days. As we can see, I haven't been playing a ton of random battles. Preferably, I'd like these numbers to be a little bit higher. But I've been focused on some other in-game tasks and haven't had as much time on my hand between Norwegian language learning and wrapping up work before Christmas vacation starts. So here we go. Alright, so first let's look at this. So let's look at run rate first. In the first statistics website, or statistics, it showed 59%, when in actuality it's 58.7%. I think in the World of Warships they just kind of round up the number, maybe perhaps whatever you're closest to, but we're not quite 59%. We're actually 58.7%, according here to WoW's Stats and Numbers. And you can see that we're great. We had a different color coding, as this teal blue color is more is for great. You can see here Unicum is more of a pink, and Super Unicum is more of a purple, for as best as I can say it. But then bad will be, or I think good is like green, and bad is red, and I think there's a below average too. They have different ranking systems. So in looking here, we can see that over the past 7 days, we've had 9 battles, and our win rate would be that of a Super Unicum from these last 7 days battles, with a 66.67% win rate. Similar, we can look at the last 21 days and also see there would be a Super Unicum with a increased positive 0.21%. Now, if you're doing better, you're going to have these green numbers following, but if you're not doing as good, you're going to have these red numbers following behind, saying that you're not doing as good as you normally would. So, we can see again the personal rating here, how that's doing well. And I was wondering a little bit more about this personal rating, and you can click on this, it'll take you to details, but I have it here. and it'll tell you a little bit more about your personal rating about it, because how does the game uh, decide what calculation, what are they looking at to decide the outcome of your personal rating? And so here it says the personal rating is a measure of skill in World of Warships. It measures performance in every warship and compares it to certain expected values. Differences between actual and expected values are used to calculate final personal rating value. So here it has basic assumptions. So the values are in the range of 0 to the max of 3000, so 0 to low end, 3000 max. Colors and values similar to the well-known World of Tanks WN8. World of Warships is a more strategic game than World of Tanks, so win rate should influence personal rating. Number of destroyed planes should be ignored, which I honestly disagree with this, because the reasoning for this is that in World of Warships, your AA is automated, so no skill is needed to destroy planes. Even with CVs, killing planes is very easy, click and forget. I can understand the perspective of why they have this, but with how how the game currently is right now with CVs, it's unbalanced, I would say. Not going to get all into that, but you have to, if I just sit still in my Des Moines and a Richthofen flies over me and I shut my AA off and I get citadeled and destroyed in one hit, yeah, I would say there was no skill in that. But if I'm maneuvering, I'm angling, I'm prioritizing sector, I'm getting planes shot down, then in my opinion, you should get a little bit of a reward, because there's no in-game rewards for shooting down planes besides your AA expert medal that you get. But I think maybe it should influence your personal rating a little bit. Elements in order of importance: damage dealt, warship kills, win rates. So all these things make up personal rating. Now I'm not going to go through every single row. I just want to kind of give an overall and saying why do I say looking at statistics can help tell yourself about yourself as a player. Now there wasn't too long ago where my aircraft destroyed was negative, much more worse than this 0.04. And I was like, well, why is that? And at that time, I realized I had shifted from playing battleships more to destroyers, and I usually destroy more planes in my battleships than I do destroyers. I was like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. That I understand what's happening, because I'm focusing on playing destroyers in the game, so naturally this may fall a little bit. As we can see that the overall aircraft destroyed is 4.83. You can see, your experience. We can see that we're doing positive in these areas. So again, don't want to spend too much time on this specific area. But then average tier played is 7.4. We can come down here where I want to spend a little time with your warship stats by type, your personal rating. So we can see here how we perform in each categories, and I have a little bit to say here. Is what we have with destroyer. We have a ranking of great, a little bit away still from being unicum. Then we have aircraft carrier being very good in terms of personal rating versus what my stats show in regards to win rate. It says that would be bad. Battleship, seeing it's great as well. And cruiser we can see is very good. And then we can see over here, well, how have we done lately? Well, we can see that the personal rating for destroyers lately has increased very good. We can see with aircraft carrier, I haven't played aircraft carrier, and I'll talk a little bit more about why that is lately. And then battleship, we can see it's gone down a little bit. And then with cruiser, we can see that it's actually increased a little bit as well. Now when we come down here, we can see the win rates with destroyers, almost 58%. Win rate with carriers, just over 46%. Battleship, in terms were a unicum of 61%. And with cruiser, great with 56%. Now, and what I want to focus on here with aircraft carrier is I'm still getting used to aircraft carriers. You saw in the previous video that we don't have a lot of battles with carriers. I probably have more battles in ops operations with the Ranger than I do like as a whole in randoms, because I'm spending time getting used to the more carrier dynamics per se. And it seems that every time I take a carrier, not every time, it'd be zero if I said every time, but it seems constantly when I've taken aircraft carrier into battle, my team has a greater chance of losing than they do of winning. So until I get better and understand aircraft carriers, then I'm just waiting before I kind of step back more into that within randoms. So that again, it'd be like, oh, well, why have I done that? Well, if I think about it, yeah, I've actually been wanting to get more hang of carriers in random battles, and it feels like I've not been doing very good lately. Oh, okay, so this confirms that. So it's kind of that thinking when you're looking at these statistics. And then here we can see that I've performed as well in battleships lately. Very, I think, what was this, just one battle? I wonder if it could tell me how many of these battles were actually in. Yeah, I had 2 battles in Battleship in the last, was that 7 days, and lost both of them. So yeah, so then it's like, oh, okay, that's why. Or if we come over here, yeah, okay, okay, so it says a little bit more. So you can see I've been playing destroyers a lot lately when we look at these warships stats by type, and that's very true because I'm grinding to get Shimakaze. We're at Yugumo right now. We can come down here and we can look at these charts. We have 6 particular charts here. One is your win rate, so you can look back at September 15th. We can see we were more underneath 57% win rate, and we can see that a little spike there, improved, little spike there, and then it seems like it's sort of kind of been over the past, 2-3 weeks, it's been pretty stable. We can see the personal rating, that's taken a change from September 15th as well, and that's improved. And this is kind of, we can see it's not even though it looks like, oh, it's really gone up, you can see that the between 1,680 to 1,800. So we're working within that range here. As again, you guys know, when it comes to personal rating and average experience, it's not all about damage. It's about caps, it's about defending. You can play more to those things to your suit to help improve those things. Because if you focus only on damage in a game, but you don't defend your caps, you don't take caps, you don't help your teammates, maybe whatever that looks like, then these are all going to be lower. They're not going to be improving like we see here. We can also see that average damage has been roughly staying through here. And then you can also see how active you are battles per month and battles per week. And it's another thing here to say is that if you're wanting to join a clan, you reach out to a clan, or a clan is looking over your profile and they're serious about you, they will often go to this website because they want to see, well, how active are you as a player? Okay, so we can see you don't play, like, I can use this as an example of myself. Okay, we can see that you don't play random battles too often per month. And so, why is that? Do we actually want you on the team? Because we can see here that you have very few played in December. In January and February was non-existent, but then here again in March you get to pick up, and of course you played a little bit more over summer. And usually it's like, well, why did you not play it all these 2 months? And so I can give the reasoning of, well, my PC was in a container being shipped across the Atlantic Ocean, so that's why this is pretty low. So then they just want to see how active you are as a player, and then you can see battles per week. And this isn't registering yet because we've not reached Saturday yet for this number to fully accumulate, because this should be higher. And again, we can see the nations, which we talked about that in last week's video. We can come down here and look at warship stats by type, where we can see Again, it's pretty similar to what we were seeing in the World of Warships website, but we can see a little bit more specific details here. And average frags means average kills, and max frags, so we can see the max kills were in Massachusetts, Mahan, and cruisers 4. So actually, I'm going to crack an unleashed in a cruiser yet. Interesting. And then aircraft carrier. And your maximum damage. Who holds those titles? It's interesting. See, because I'm just looking at this now, I would have thought that either the Gearing or the Fletcher would have held this record. Now, I've broken this damage in ranked battles, but I guess I haven't broke it in random battles. Interesting, not bad for tier 6. And then we can see here, max planes destroyed, Massachusetts holding the record, then Benson, then Dallas, and then the Ranger. So again, like we just found out, like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that about myself. I would assume Gearing or Fletcher, but it's actually an Agile. So again, it helps tell you yourself more about yourself as a player. We can get down here and look at warship stats by tier. So these are not all in specific order. They're kind of jumbled. Well, granted, we could just do this. Yeah, because it was by average kills earlier. And we can see how many, again, how many battles have we played per tier. But here, unlike in the World of Warships website, we get more specific details of what's going on here. And then we can see what ships hold the maximum kills for that tier. So again, it seems tier 7, tier 8 is where we get the highest kills. And then which ships that tier hold the highest damage records. Really wanting to break 100,000 soon, I hope, in tier 3. So yeah, so again, this is all random battle statistics. You can see how many planes we shot down. Ooh, whole whopping 2 at tier 3. Yeah, so again, we get to look at that. And then evidently, this is poor, because we've only played one tier 1 battle and one tier 2, so these are going to be red. So that means, oh, maybe I should play some more lower tier battles in World of Warships and randoms. And then we can see kind of how we do here. So it seems like in terms of win rates, well, ignoring this one, but that tier 5 is our best. So then, again, something else for you to take note of. Weapon statistics, we can see warships destroyed with main battery, 946, secondary battery, 107, torpedoes, 158, aircraft, 61, by ramming 12. So again, we can see that we are a player that doesn't typically like ramming people. So that's something to know about myself. Well, why is that? Maybe I should consider doing that more, or take advantage of it in certain situations, because I'm a player that likes to try to do drive-bys. So rather than just ramming you, I'm going to try to get my main batteries focused on your side, because most ships, if I'm going to ram you, it's in a battleship, sometimes in a cruiser. But as we can see here, within a battleship, we can see that, oh, I don't typically like to ram. And that's because, oh yeah, I like to do drive-bys, or just drive right past you, get main turrets on you, and shoot you completely broadside. That's what I typically like to do. So that tells me something about myself as a player. And we can see our record for damage over here. The reason why the Mahan doesn't have this versus where you saw up here, we've also done 7 in the Massachusetts, is that the last time I destroyed 7 ships was in the Mahan, not the Massachusetts. Otherwise, the Massachusetts would be labeled here if that was the case. Experience, aircraft destroyed, spotted, and then damaged upon spotting. So the Gearing is the one that holds the record for 135,000. Furthermore, you can come down here and look at important moments or transfers, which we've not done any transfers, but if we look at important moments, we can see here that some ships we acquired. We've got the Scharnhorst B, which I wailed to get that. I bought this ship particularly because I want to play her more in Narai, not so much for randoms, as she's a great ship for Narai, also the Fiji. You can see that I've just recently got the Yugamo. I whaled a whole 99 cents and bought the Smith. And I just finished with the Acosta the other day and being able to get enough base XP to buy the Icarus. And then also recently acquired the Tier 6 Pan-Asian Destroyer, the Janwei. Don't know if I said that one right. And then you can go more and you can see more back in history, so you can kind of see where we're at, what you're focusing on. So you can see that there's a lot of lower tiered ships here for the most part, besides the Yugamo and maybe the Scharnhorst in Baltimore. So again, as I said, I've been working on trying to grind up more ship type lines to get to tier 10, and we can see that, oh, like that's true. Then you can come down here and you can look at number of battles that this is going by right now. So we can see the Massachusetts holds that spot, the win rates, average damage for the ship. So again, kind of like how I showed you in the previous video statistics, where you could go into and look at each specific ship. This gives you a layout so you can kind of see it all at once. You can even go in and click details and see a bit more information about your ship. So yeah, so you can see there's a lot going on here. So, what's that? That's interesting. Montana? Is this win rate? I've only had 10 battles in Montana, but I've run every battle I've been in Montana so far. That's interesting. I did not know that. So yeah. So you can go through here and kind of see 30%. Yeah, I had a few twice I was bottom tier versus tier 8 battleships. That was fun. So we can kind of think back to why those things are. And that brings us to the end of the website. And it seems that you can also support and donate. This application is a third-party tool under Wargaming Developers Partner Program. Okay, so I wondered if I said that wrong when I misspoke in the previous video. If I said this was done by Wargaming, it's not. It's done by a third-party tool under Wargaming Developers Partner Program. But I'm wanting to seek to draw this video to a close. So again, you can kind of see here, if you want to look at yourself as a player and say, you know, if you see these, oh, well, why am I not getting a negative rate with aircraft destroyers? It's like, oh, I've been playing destroyers more lately. Oh, that's why. Oh, why have I been playing random battles as much? Oh, why I've been playing the key battles and big hunt and Polygon. I've been playing co-op grinding to get the Oklahoma, so on and so forth. So it kind of tells you more why these certain numbers might be lower. And then you can see, oh, what am I struggling in? And I'm like, oh, okay, I can look here and see I'm struggling in playing aircraft carriers, even though my personal rating says very good in terms of carrying a match and winning, not so hot. So I'll put a link to this this website in the description below. So if you want to go in, if you want to type in your player name and look yourself up, or if you're like, well, I really want to join that clan, you can look that clan up to see how they're performing. We're still recruiting here at ADF. Or if you just want to look at specific warships, you can do that as well in searching here. So I hope you found this video helpful. Again, we didn't really go into all this with co-op battles. We can see, yeah, recent as in today. So I've not played any today. You can see what you've done in divisioning, which you can see is not very much. But yeah, so feel free to engage, interact with this. But if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you have already subscribed, thanks so much as we march on to 50 subscribers. So until next time, take care.